Hello, Internet. Gino that Pinguino Grieco here again with another episode of Deep Listens. And today it's amateur hour once again. We are discussing the NFL, the National Football League. Uh, don't tell them we're discussing them. I don't know if you're allowed to say NFL if you're not like officially like. We're probably fine. We're probably fine. They won't know. Joining me as always to discuss all things American football, Adam Borgmaster, Redacted. How you doing?
I got both feet down in the end zone, if you know what I mean.
I don't. Is that a good? Is that good? Do you want that?
You have to find out.
I'm also joined, as always, by Tyler Grav, Redacted. How you doing, Tyler?
Pretty good, Gino, and I am gonna pull an Adam and just doink a 30-yard field goal off the uprights.
I can find you.
But what are you gonna do once you find me?
If you start talking to.
Well, clearly not make a field goal on you. That wouldn't happen. All right, so today's agenda, we'll be discussing each of the divisions and the playoff picture they're in. We'll touch on our favorite teams as we go through, and then we'll touch on model talk and playoff picture, and some of the news of the day as it pops up. Before we do that, though, a reminder, you can get in touch with the show, deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com. That's our email address, deeplistens.libsyn.com. That's where we have our comment sections where you can download the show if you don't have an RSS reader for some reason, or a podcast app. And deeplistenspodcast.bluesky.social. That's our social media account where you can learn about shows as they go live and post. You can support the show on patreon.com/deeplistens, which would give you access at the $1 tier to our Discord, where you can talk with the host of the show and participate in our various fantasy sport endeavors, and potentially win the chance to have us play a game of your choosing. At the $3 tier, you get access to the OG Soncast, which is our anime podcast, which is covering Excel Saga, coming up soon. Quick, Adam, plug the Stargate show that you're doing in case people aren't listening to that.
Also, listen to Chariots of the Pods every 2 weeks on Tuesday. It comes out on Deep Listens. It's a Stargate watch along podcast. It's about the Stargate. It has myself, Tyler here, and Jason and Justin from the community. We're in the middle of season 2, and it's fun. You should listen to it. There's sci-fi, there's banter, there's war crimes.
Hey, Adam, what's Stargate?
Stargate. It's a TV show from the 90s about the U.S. military traveling to other planets through a wormhole device that they find buried in Egypt.
Oh, the 90s? Back when Nirvana roamed the Earth? I wasn't born yet. Why should I watch it?
Late 90s. It's the Bill Clinton era. You should watch it because it was the most successful sci-fi show of the era, not named Star Trek.
Hey, thanks. I will watch it now. I'll listen to your show. All right, now without further ado, the NFL. Let's start with the AFC and the AFC East specifically. We've got the Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, and Jets, for those who don't remember, but teams are in that division. Unfortunately for all of us, the Patriots are in first at 11-2. They somehow have played a schedule in which none of their wins were impressive because they've played almost no good teams the entire year, except for the Bills. But man, they're going to make the playoffs for sure. Tyler, how are you taking this as a Bills fan?
Well, the Bills are currently 8-4, and in Bills Mafia land, you would think the sky's falling. Yeah, the vibes are not very good right now, and like the record is like actually pretty good this time of year. It's just who we've lost to and how we've lost is a little bit concerning. I think like Buffalo has the worst run defense in the NFL, and just watching every team like just about run over us that has a good rushing offense has just been painful.
Yeah, and your defense is quite injured, correct?
Yeah, it has not been a good year for injuries. Really, they're not the Buffalo Bills anymore. They're more or less the Buffalo Mercenaries. Like, every week we are either bringing in somebody new to play wide receiver, or somebody to be a defensive back. Bills just this morning signed someone who, I think Darnell Savage.
Darius Slay. Good guess though.
No. Slay was
Yes,
yesterday.
Slay. Yeah.
Oh, this is a different person whose name means violence.
Yes. So I think he was a former first round pick for the Green Bay Packers, but we'll see. Things don't feel too good right now in Bills land, but if we can win this next game against Cincinnati, I think we're a solid lock-in for the postseason. I just don't know, which of the positions Bills will fall in.
I will say, if you allow the Patriots, I mean, they're going to win the division, but if the league allows the Patriots to make it deep into the playoffs while playing absolutely no one of consequence the whole season long, I mean, I already think the NFL is really fraudulent in terms of who wins and loses in the regular season because of how wildly disparate the schedule strengths are. But boy, that would be especially egregious, I feel like, if this Patriots team, who had the easiest schedule I've ever seen in my entire life, goes deep into the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, it's not always about who you play. It's about, like, when you play them. And unfortunately, I think the Patriots are just good enough right now where they can reliably beat bad teams.
That's all they have to play.
Right. And it's not like the Miami Dolphins where you can expect them to blow out all the bad teams and then lose to the really good teams, because we just haven't seen it happen yet. We haven't had that opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're at 11 wins right now. Their next 4 games are Bills, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins. So they're going to be like a 13 or 14 win team.
In all likelihood, yes.
Which is terrible. I hate it.
Speaking of the Dolphins, they are in the wild card chase somehow. They're not eliminated, technically, despite having one of the least encouraging starts to a season I can remember recently. They are missing their top wide receiver. They still have Devon Achane, who's continuing to crush, and their defense is weirdly competent all of a sudden. Like, it's not good, but it used to be one of the worst in the NFL, and now it's merely mediocre. Do either of you see any chance for the Dolphins to make the wild card?
To be realistic, I could see the Chiefs making the wild card before the Miami Dolphins. You have Chargers, you have Houston. There's, like, even Indianapolis that's in a precarious situation all of a sudden. I could see all those teams, filling up a spot before Miami.
And then the comically eliminated New York Jets.
Well, they're not technically eliminated yet, are they?
I mean, they're 3-9. If they aren't technically eliminated, they are spiritually eliminated.
Okay, well, yeah, no, they're not technically eliminated because they win a tiebreaker over Cleveland.
Great.
But they're going to be eliminated very soon.
Yeah. I think right now there's only like 5 teams that are mathematically eliminated.
If every team ahead of the Jets loses out and the Jets win out, I guess they make the playoffs somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, a fun bit of math for you. So right now, Miami Dolphins is the 26th best offense and the 26th best defense according to EPA per play. The New York Jets are the 27th best offense and defense. So the parity between those two teams, it's comedic in my opinion.
Yes.
But one team has a better offense, the other team has a better defense, but they're pretty much the exact same team on paper.
Yeah, but also the Jets did a fire sale a few weeks ago, and the Dolphins didn't.
Miami moved a few players, if I recall, during the trade deadline.
But not their number one defensive player.
No, that's true.
I mean, it is incredible how the AFC East at any given time has between 2 and 3 absolute dog shit teams, with the Jets almost always being the constant of that. It's just every single year. So Jets, shameful. You're a shameful team. I think we can say Justin Fields is done as a starting NFL quarterback. Probably, I don't see him necessarily getting another chance without him being a backup and then the person in front of him getting injured. Inauspicious. He did not play well, so I think he deserves it. But also, no one should have to play quarterback for the New York Jets, and I'm sorry to him that he had to experience that. The AFC North. Actually, before we get to the AFC North, Adam, do you have anything to say to Justin Fields as someone who I think cared about the Bears at some point?
I've never cared about the Bears. You cannot
Okay.
find any recordings of me talking about the Bears positively.
Okay, well, as a huge fan of the Steelers, last year's quarterback Justin Fields, how do you feel about Justin Fields as a Steelers fan? As an eternal, lifelong Steelers fan.
It's a shame. Fields can do things when he's behind a real O line, as we saw in Pittsburgh last year. He can look competent. He can look average. He can look journeyman like when he's not getting the absolute crap beat out of him all the time. But when you see at first the Bears and now the Jets, he can't carry a team. He can't be a game manager. He's gonna be a backup or out of the league after this.
He behind a bad offensive line, he just gets suplexed. Basically, people give him the pedigree over and over and over again. The AFC North, the division whose motto is "Who wants to win it? No one." Weird. We've got the Ravens and Steelers tied at 6-6, the Bengals at 4-8, and the Browns at 3-9. And you might say, well, those are a lot of bad teams, but one of these teams has to go to the playoffs.
And
them's the rules.
All four currently have a negative point differential.
Sick.
Well, like that. I think the only other team I've seen that recently was like the AFC South at one point during the past couple of years.
Yes, the AFC South.
The NFC South was there at certain points last year. I think the NFC West got there 1 week last year. This happens.
Oh, wait.
To a division every year.
I have to apologize. I'm factually inaccurate because I'm looking at the NFC South. They all have negative point differentials.
You see, it happens all the time.
It's not that happens all the time and is good and normal. So Ravens and Steelers are in pole position, I guess, technically. The Bengals now have Joe Burrow back, so they are kind of a complete offense again. And then the Browns are not mathematically eliminated. Tyler, since you have no dog in this fight, horse in this race, do you think you like the Ravens or the Steelers?
It's the Steelers, obviously.
So the funny thing is, both of these teams, when I check my math, they're both forecasted for 8 wins by season's end. And I have to give it to the Steelers just because of the Mike Tomlin bullshit magic. At some point, the Steelers defense will, revert back to previous seasons, and they'll score, a few defensive touchdowns, throw in a few field goals for Boswell, and somebody will have a historic collapse the last 2 weeks, and you'll see Pittsburgh in that 7th seed somehow.
Very fair. So,
not the 7th seed, the 4th seed, because
that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter if you're dog shit if you win your division.
Yeah.
So, Adam, as the only person with a horse in this fight, what do you think about the Steelers versus the Ravens?
I mean, we're going to get through more wins this season. That's guaranteed, basically, because we have the Ravens, Dolphins, Lions, Browns, and Ravens coming up. We split the Ravens. We beat the Dolphins and the Browns. Lose to the Lions, probably. So we go 9-8. If the Ravens can't get there with us, then we win the division. If they can get there with us, what's the Ravens' schedule? Who the hell are these dumbasses playing?
Is Lamar hurt?
Yeah. So the fun thing here is that both Lamar and Rodgers are playing through injuries.
Yeah, Lamar's been playing through a hamstring injury since one of the first weeks of the year, since like week 4.
I think this week it's technically an ankle injury, and Rodgers has his non-throwing hand is busted up. So they're going to be playing each other while injured with questionable defenses and questionable everything really. So that's going to be games to watch in the coming weeks of who wants to lose the division more.
Yeah, I like that it's basically a South Park I didn't hear no bell situation between two teams that are fundamentally broken and physically broken.
So
one of them will win, probably.
So the Ravens have the Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Packers, and Steelers coming up. I can see them going 8-9. They get 2 wins, lose 3. I can see the Steelers getting 3 wins, losing 2. So it is up in the air of which of these failed franchises can get into the playoffs. So I guess lose immediately to the 5th seed, which might end up being the Bills, a very angry Bills.
Tyler, of these two teams, if one of them self-actualizes and becomes the best version of themselves somehow, which one has the higher ceiling, do you think?
I mean, it has to be the Ravens.
Right?
You have Lamar, you have Derrick Henry, you have
Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Like they've got all the offensive talent that you would want.
Hey! Now the Steelers have talent. We just don't do anything with it. All right.
I mean, but even the Steelers' defensive talent has not looked the same in years past. I mean, the Bills ran the same play 26 times last week, and they couldn't stop it. And it was a zone run to James Cook.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, look, we need to get rid of Terrell Austin in Pittsburgh. Like we need to get rid of Arthur Smith. We probably need to get rid of Mike Tomlin at this point. Like
how? Why?
Because we're not going anywhere with him. Right? He's past his expiration date. Like
is he?
Yes.
This team shouldn't be in first place in the division. Through sorcery and good coaching, he gets you into the playoffs every year.
And then they get eliminated in the wild card. Like when was the last time they won a playoff game?
It's last decade.
Just remember, it can always be worse. You can beat Tennessee.
No, the thing is, but Tennessee at least has the opportunity to get draft picks, and they're not overpaying their defense.
Would you would you like to have their opportunities? Do you want to watch Tennessee or the Raiders? They keep getting these opportunities and nothing ever happens because they're poorly coached.
Yeah, but the Steelers could rebuild if we just tanked a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I agree with Adam on this point. Either you want to be really good or you want to be really bad. Like being middle of the road is the worst place to possibly be because you always think with a few more players or a little bit more luck, we're going to be competing with the top teams.
But it just doesn't get there.
Yeah.
Because you're overpaying old players, which with the oldest defense and the highest paid defense, and I don't even see Watt out there most weeks. I've forgotten he's been on the team for weeks at a time. It's bad. We have to clear out cap space. We have to fucking replace all these coaches and coordinators. Just strip it down, rebuild, find a quarterback for once.
Yeah. I mean,
because we've been stuck in the middle for almost a decade now, and it's just languishing.
Yeah, I would say pre-Mahomes era, it was enough to just get into the playoffs because there wasn't really a whole litany of quarterbacks that were that good. But in the era of the Mahomes, the Allens, the Burrows, the Jacksons, and whoever else you want to throw into that discussion, if you don't have an elite quarterback, you're not making a deep playoff run. So really, what are you doing by getting into the playoffs?
And you can't get your franchise quarterback if you're stuck always at like pick 16 to 24.
Have you
in the
considered that
first
you're
round.
selling one game worth of tickets and concessions? Eh?
I mean,
Eh?
That's for the owner.
I
The
mean,
owners are going to make their money regardless.
I'm sure Art Rooney likes that. But no, we just have to. We
The
just have to
problem,
like tear it all down at this point.
the problem is, as fan, we don't ever see any of that revenue. Like, we're fans of the team. We're the ones generating the revenue, and having to put up with being satisfied with, oh, we got into playoffs and we're not going to do anything more.
And like,
Well,
like
Bengals.
we can win games, but like we always embarrass ourselves at the most inopportune moment, and it's just Steelers fans have been dealing with that for years and years and years. Where it's like, oh, we're winning games, but then we're just looking like dumb assholes the rest of the time. So no, something has to change. Anything has to change.
The
Yeah.
Bengals have a long shot odds here now that they've got Joe Burrow back. I don't think they'll make it, but their offense is quite good. And the
Yeah.
Browns, their defense is quite good, but their offense is dog water. So I don't expect that they will sneak up, but you never know because the Ravens and Steelers both have been quite embarrassing recently. So hard to say.
Let's talk about Cincinnati for a minute, because right now they're the best possible outcome is they run the table, they finish the season 9-8. I still don't think that gets you into the playoffs. I think there's enough teams in the AFC that are going to finish.
But that might win the division because we've already established that.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about the damn division.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
remember that this is an awful division.
Like I in my mind, Pittsburgh is just such a perennial, wild card team. I forget that fourth seed is up for grabs.
Technically, you can make the playoffs
Yeah,
that way.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Bengals will have to beat both the Bills and the Ravens to do that. And so if they can win the next 2 weeks, then yeah, they're going to be the favorites for fourth seed.
Yeah.
But
here's
have
the thing:
to win those
Cincinnati's
games.
favored against Baltimore right now at home. They're expected to win that game.
That seems crazy.
It's +3, so take that as you will. But they are favored against Baltimore.
I because they have Chase Brown and Samaje P. Ryan. Like, are they going to take advantage of the Bills' kryptonite?
Chase Brown is very good. He could entirely do that.
Is Chase Brown going to have the game of his life?
He would
Possible.
need to.
He's very fast. It's possible. It's not like they're running out there with an awful running back suite.
But
No, it's not like Devin Singletary and Devin Singletary.
But that's not the type of back the Bills generally have issues with. It's the bigger guys. It's the Bijan Robinson. It's the Derrick Henrys.
We shall see. And
Yeah.
then the Browns. Haha, the Browns.
The
They
Browns
exist.
are such a funny story of mismanagement.
Yeah.
This year because what's his name? Their
Sanders.
guy. No, their defensive guy who's going to break the sack record.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, like they have a player who's going to break the all-time sack record for a season this year. He's close. He's getting there, and he's going to do it. But then they haven't had a quarterback all year.
No, and they started the season with 4 on their roster.
5.
Yeah.
They traded away Flacco because he wasn't winning, and then he went on to get a couple games for the Bengals. They started Dylan Gabriel, who isn't the guy, was never going to be the guy. Then Shooter Sanders, who is, he gets the publicity, but he's not the guy either. And then now Deshaun Watson is healthy again, apparently.
Yeah. You know what they say: if you have 5 quarterbacks, you don't have any. Am I right?
Okay, Boomer.
Browns awful again, forever awful. The AFC South, The Jaguars and the Colts are 8-4. They're fighting for first. The Texans are 7-5, right there, and then the Titans, the lowly Titans, are 1-11. And I hope we don't have to talk about them anymore this season. Who do you like between the Jaguars, Colts, and Texans to win this division?
Any of them? It'll be very funny if the Jags win. The Colts are cooling off because just Danny Dimes is turning into a pumpkin a bit early. The Texans, though, might go on to win this.
I still think it's going to be Indy. I think they're hitting a little bit of a rough patch here, but I think they still have enough in the tank to claw it back.
I mean, Indy does not have a fun schedule to close the year.
But they play Jacksonville twice.
Yeah, but Jacksonville is as good as they are.
Jacksonville plays Indy twice. It's really going to probably come down to those games.
Yeah,
they might just split.
Whoever wins if they split it, then everything else matters. If one of those teams 2-0s the other, that's probably the knockout punch for the loser.
But also, the Colts have the Seahawks, Niners, and Texans as well, and that's rough, buddy.
Yeah, but part of me feels like Jacksonville has been a little bit lucky. I think right now they're more of like a 7-win team than an 8-win team, and that's will put them back into the wild card or in the hunt.
I mean, how many wins they should have is one thing. The Pats shouldn't be where they are. It's how many wins they're gonna have, and the Jags have the Jets and Titans. So they could get to 11 wins pretty easily. The Jags, if they don't fall apart, which is up in the air. The Colts have an uphill battle though, and then the Texans they play nasty football, and they don't have a fun schedule, but they're going to play nasty games every week. So who knows with them?
I agree. Right now, the records show these teams as being even, but from an EPA standpoint, Indy is by far a much better team.
A better team that collapses is going to win less than a mediocre team that holds it together.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost 2 games in a row, which is bad. I admit that, but I just don't think it's significant as people are making it out to be.
Well, because they're losing against good teams. That's the Chiefs and the Texans, and they have the Texans again, plus the Niners and Seahawks. The NFC West is murderous, as we'll get to. So it's been an uphill battle the last couple of weeks. And it's going to continue to be. Whereas the Jaguars have been feeding on bad teams all year, and they have the Jets and the Titans coming up. They have the Colts twice and the Broncos. So they have 2 or 3 wins left.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is even if they beat those 2 bad teams, it doesn't mean anything if you lose to Indy twice.
So they have to at least split with Indy.
And we're back where we started, with whoever wins those head-to-head matchups, assuming that the Texans don't, eclipse them both. It's probably going to be those head-to-head matchups that decide things.
Which the Texans are weird. They're on a 4-win winning streak right now because they beat the Bills and the Colts and the Jags. They have the Chiefs coming up, which for me, since Azeez Al-Shaair is back from suspension. We can expect Mahomes to get the crap beat out of him, and for the Texans defense to get maybe 8 or 10 penalties on them. So we'll see. So we'll see if Azeez can finally knock off Mahomes like he's been trying to all these years. But then that's going to be a nasty game between the two of them. Then they have the Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, and Colts. The Texans could get 4 wins. 4 more wins to close out the year, and that could put them at the top of the division.
Good.
Yeah.
So the AFC South, it's a dogfight. There's 3 teams all fighting it out at this point. I think, look, it's just going to come down to these next few games. I don't think each team has a few cream puffs. Each team has. I think the Colts have the toughest.
The Colts, yeah, the Colts have the worst one, which is why I have the least confidence in them. So yeah, Jonathan Taylor, best running back of the year, easily. Danny Dimes did more than anyone thought he could, even though he is cooling off. it's a well-coached team. I mean, they're all kind of well-coached teams at this point because Liam Cohen in Jacksonville has been doing a hell of a job
Yes.
pulling that team together and making it work. Because, I mean, I think I said at the beginning of the season, they've had the pieces for a while to have a respectable team in Jacksonville. They just haven't been able to make it work. And now that it is working, it's like, okay, yeah, turns out the quarterback is the weakest link there, so they need to find a different franchise guy.
Yeah, a guy who
and
is as good as Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do we really see this team making a deep playoff run? And I'm
I
talking
don't think
about
any of these three teams are actual contenders.
No, I don't see any of them making getting to the AFC Championship, but like 3 of them could get into the playoffs.
Speaking of maybe 3 of them could get into the playoffs, the AFC West. Broncos at 10-2, the Chargers at 8-4, the Chiefs at 6-6, and then the lowly Raiders, who again I hope we don't have to talk about, at 2-10. So the Broncos.
One last thing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of Cam Ward for being alive.
Way to go! Way to be alive.
The most sacked player of the year, I think, or he's second, if not first. He has not had his skull caved in yet, which I'm very proud of him, and I wish him the best.
He won't be fundamentally broken. Which usually happens to quarterbacks who get sacked this much. They become skittish and fundamentally broken. So, hope not.
Yeah.
So the AFC West, the Broncos did a Space Jam to the Chiefs and stole their one-score game luck from last season, it would appear. The Broncos are not as good as their record. The Chiefs are not as bad as their record. And the Chargers are exactly as good as their record.
So I'm just going to go ahead and take a lap here for calling it during the preseason. Last year, I said the Kansas City Chiefs had all kinds of bullshit luck. I pointed out they were like 5 wins better than where they should have been, and they were going to pay for it this season, and that's pretty much have come true at this point. So yeah, curse of 5+ way. Put on a t-shirt.
Yeah, and the Broncos playing at altitude helps. Having the best defense in the NFL or close to top 2,
fifth best, I would say at this point.
They're very good. They're a top 5 defense.
At one point, they were the best earlier in the season. They've kind of gotten softer since then, but still a top defense. I mean, what would this team be if they didn't have Nick Bonito on it? Right, probably just the Bo Picks team.
So, you guys don't think Indy's a real playoff contender? I would say that title's reserved for Denver.
I mean, if Denver ends up somehow with the 1 seed, they're going to at least make it to the second round of the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, but in years past, we've seen the number 1 seed get knocked off in the divisional round.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They'll make it at least to the divisional round.
Yeah. But really, if you're the 1 seed, you should at least be making the AFC Championship. I don't care about the divisional if you're the 1 seed.
But they're a pretty fraudulent 1 seed.
Yeah, no, they would be a very fraudulent 1 seed. It's still possible. It's between them and the Pats for the 1 seed, which is both of which would be frauds. So
yes, a competition for the most fraudulent 1 seed in recent memory.
Yes,
Denver should be a 7-win team right now, if it wasn't for them stealing the Chiefs' mojo. And as you said,
looking at their
earlier,
remaining schedule, they're going to be a 12 or 13 win team. It seems like they have the Raiders, Packers, Jags, Chiefs, and Chargers. That's not great, not terrible.
It's pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, they get one freebie in there, and they have to actually
just the Raiders.
they have to work for the rest. The Chargers aren't going to make the playoffs. I'm saying.
Ooh, you think the Chiefs are just going to pass them?
Yeah, so they're 8-4 right now, and they have the Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, and Broncos. Which that's tough, buddy.
There's no free wins.
Yeah,
I'd say there's a few teams in there they can beat.
I mean, their ceiling's going to be 10 wins for the year, which that's going to get shaky for them, depending on how the rest of the AFC does. And then the Chiefs, I mean, I hope they don't make the playoffs, but like they get They have the Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, and Raiders. So they have 2 free wins in there. They could probably beat the Chargers. The Broncos are frauds, then they might be able to beat them in the back half here, but they lost to the Broncos earlier, so who knows? The Chiefs could make it tonight. Can make it to 9 wins, 10 wins, probably, and then we'll see from there.
Yeah. The interesting thing about KC's schedule to end the season, they're all against AFC teams, so that makes the loss even more catastrophic because it hurts your in-conference standing. So even if you end up with the same record as another AFC wildcard team, if your AFC record is worse than theirs, you're out.
Yeah, so the way I see it, the Broncos have already won their division, and then it's a race for the Chargers and Chiefs to get to the 7th seed.
Let's see. I'm looking for ESPN's playoff machine. Predictor machine?
Because if you assume that the Bills get into the wild card, and then one team from the AFC South gets into the wild card, 1 or 2, who knows, then, that's one for the AFC West that they're going to get, and that's probably 7th seed.
Okay. I think that does it for the AFC, which allows us to go over to the NFC East. We've got the Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants. The Giants who...
So the Giants.
Them.
Yeah. So let's back it up, because the last time we did this podcast, Gino, you were cashing in receipts. You were demanding all kinds of...
Demanding apologies, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. You were, apologize to such and such and so, and then you proceeded to lose the rest of your games.
Look, just because of a slight 7-game losing streak, just a scant 7 games, which we were in the middle of when I demanded apologies, because Jackson Dart looked good, and so did Cam Scadaboo.
For 2 games.
They had a good 2 games that they lost in heartbreaking fashion. They did beat the Eagles, which was pretty cool.
Scadaboo beat the Eagles, let's be honest.
That's the problem, is Scadaboo got injured almost immediately after the recording of that podcast, which led to the Giants not having their number 1 wide receiver or running back. Then Jackson Dart got concussed, which led to Jameis Winston to have to play football.
And everyone loves Jameis. He's fun.
And then Brian Daboll got fired because he seemed to have encouraged Jackson Dart to play through a concussion, which was bad and a fireable offense. And so, things have gone about as bad as you could possibly have it. Jackson Dart looks like a real quarterback, which is good. But all of the talent around him has fallen apart. So they're going to need to draft probably some linemen, I'd guess, next year. Maybe some defensive players. I think they've got a number 1 wide receiver when he's healthy. I think they've got a number 1 running back when he's healthy. Do we ever bet on them being healthy again, I guess? Do we count on Scadaboo?
I mean, the thing I was going to bet on is whether Jackson Dart can speak in complete sentences when he's 30.
Do you think he can learn how to slide? I mean, Allen didn't slide as a rookie either, Garrett. Allen didn't slide. He's got that madness in his eyes, the way that some other quarterbacks who can run do.
Quarterbacks can learn to slide. It's not like is it an arm talent question? It's just, will the guys in the locker room call him out on him not sliding?
Like, can he? Can he avoid getting hit in the head?
Neighbors, I think, is a legit number 1 wide receiver when he's healthy.
Oh yeah,
I think Cam Scadaboo is at least a replacement level running back when he's healthy. You don't need to replace him. He's not. He's average to above average. You could probably leave it. And then I think Dart is good. I think it's just a matter of, like you said, Adam, will he be able to speak in complete sentences in a year or 2?
Not year to 10 years, because that's how the brain works.
A year or 2, even if he plays like this, he'll be able to complete sentences. But 10.
So I'm looking at the postseason draft order. Right now, Giants are sitting at 2. Gino, if the draft happened right now, what are you taking?
Position?
Yeah.
I am of the opinion that high draft picks are for 3 positions, really, maybe 4 positions: quarterback, left tackle, edge rusher, and maybe wide receiver. Those are the 4 positions I ever care about picking early. Um, and so I would probably lean left tackle usually, because if you can get a good offensive line, that your entire offense looks good, and you have a young quarterback who's very aggressive, you probably want to protect him. So I would probably go left tackle, even though I don't think the Giants line is abysmal anymore. I think you could always make it better. Um, I would probably go with that, and then maybe if there's not a franchise-worthy left tackle available, I would probably take a edge rusher. You can literally never have too many of them.
Yeah. So how has Abdul Carter turned out this year?
Who's that man? What does he play?
He's the edge rusher that the Giants picked at number 3 in the draft.
I think he's been okay, right?
He's been below. I mean, from what I've heard, when anyone remembers he's there, he's below expectations a little bit. Well, I mean, that's the expectations for 3rd overall.
Yeah. But he's also a lineman. They really do need a season or 2 to really start to peak. Because don't forget, he's just coming out of college. He probably doesn't have the weight yet to compete with some of these older linemen.
Okay. It seems. You know what would help him? If you had a second edge rusher who needed to be double teamed. That always helps.
That always helps. I do want to point out during the Jameis stint for the Giants, my favorite fun fact, is in that Packers game, the Packers dropped more of his passes than his receivers did.
Great.
Which I love that. Jameis, if you count interceptions, Jameis has the highest completion percentage of anyone. Someone's gonna catch it.
Yeah, the Giants' pretty depressing season overall, though I think they found a quarterback they can at least invest in for next year. He's more promising than Danny Dimes was. I think that they at least don't have to worry about that for a season, though I do worry about him as a RG3-esque run over everything and probably will get murdered, which is what happened also to the Commanders and Jalen Daniels, unfortunately. Or Jaden Daniels.
Some just absolutely gruesome injuries this year. Tyreek Hill, Cam Scattaboo, Jaden Daniels. All 3 of them haunt my soul.
Yeah. It's not a great year for the physical well-being of these guys. It's also more like like people getting into fights this year, like not the Giants, but just in general. It seemed like more like guys throwing punches or like shoving or spitting on each other,
Which is odd because it's football. If you just wait for the whistle to blow to start the play, you're allowed to fight for like 5 to 10 seconds per play.
Yeah, like who was the Niners player who got punched in the groin by the Panthers?
I do not remember.
What's his name?
Yeah.
But no, like apparently that guy's just been talking crap to everyone all year across from him on the line, and then yeah, he just took a shot there because he, I guess, needs to shut up. I guess we'll talk about that when we get to the Niners.
Yeah, I think we covered the Giants. Let's cover the rest of these teams.
Eagles are good, and they're still like Philadelphia is still mad at them for not being as good despite having won the Super Bowl last year, which is just the most Philadelphia thing possible. Have the best team in your division by a pretty decent margin and just be constantly, unendingly mad at them.
The only real team in their entire division, and the fans still want the coach fired.
They want everyone fired always. They could win the Super Bowl. Like, you could tell them they're going to win the Super Bowl this year, and they would still want the head coach fired. They would assume that it was because they fired the head coach that happened. Eagles will never be happy, and that's mostly because happiness comes from within, as my therapist always says. And they just can't. I haven't seen an entire sports culture that more badly needs a therapist than Philadelphia sports culture. The Cowboys made trades to get better this year, and they are 6-6 for their trouble. Well, 6-6-1
6-6-1
for their trouble.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it with the Cowboys, and Schottenheimer, the new coach, is doing as well as you can expect with Jerry Jones as the GM. The metaphor I came up with, it's like playing in a sealed tournament in like a card game. For Schottenheimer, where he's just given a random collection of players he has no control over, and then just has to make it work. That's why I see the Cowboys.
Yeah. It's interesting because you have arguably a top 5 offense, but in terms of defense, like you're bottom rung. Like they're 29th out of 32.
And they've gotten better the last couple weeks. But like not by
They want to play shootouts. They want to play shootouts against other teams that have bad defenses.
They do, but they have, let's see, the Chargers, Raiders, Commies twice, and Bills. Which, I mean, the Bills, that'll be a fun game. That'll be a shootout.
The Cowboys? Cowboys don't play Bills.
Wait, who am I looking at? I'm looking at the Eagles. Damn it. Crap. Oh, if only they played the Bills. That would be fun. Okay, they lost a shootout to the Lions for week 14 so far on Thursday. But they have the Vikings, Chargers, Commies, and Giants. They might win out.
I just want the Cowboys to somehow tie 5 more games to get a 6-6-6 record. That's what I want. I know it's not even possible.
That's a 1 in 1 billion chance.
But they have 5 games remaining, right?
They have 4 games remaining because they already went for week 14 against the Lions.
Well, 4 games remaining, so yeah, impossible. But 6-6-5 would still be funny. I just want bad things for them.
They might go 10-5-1.
It comes from a place of malice in my heart. They can't get 5. They have 6 losses already.
Oh wait, no. Then 10-6-1. Sorry.
Yeah.
But they might get to 10 wins, and that's kind of gross.
It would be gross. I hope they don't. I hope they are maximum punished for what they have done this year. The NFC North, we've got the Bears, Packers, Lions, and Vikings. The Vikings are functionally eliminated. The Bears are leading in this division somehow. What do we make of this?
That's another Coach of the Year candidate there, in Johnson, pulling the pieces together finally. Because again, they've been like drafting and trading for pieces the last few years, and it's starting to come together into something. It's not, I mean, again, fraudulent probably, but it's something.
I would say they're fraudulent. Right now, I'm seeing them as like a 6-win team, which would put them just above the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, really, we should be talking about just the Packers and the Detroit Lions this time of season. But and let's be honest, the Chicago Bears are winning in spite of Caleb Williams, not because.
I mean, that shows how good all the other pieces are. And the coaching.
They've had a stacked offense for pretty decent time, like running at least a wide receiver. I'm not a DeAndre Swift guy, but he's a competent running back.
Yeah, but right now I'm seeing them as like the number 9th best offense, but like the 20th best defense. They're not awful, but they're not a 9-3 team.
I mean, they are +6 on point differential, whereas the Lions are +90 and the Packers are +68.
Yeah.
So the Bears have also kind of stolen some of that Kansas City winning games in spite of the fact that they don't like especially good football.
But they've also swept the Lions already in the division.
I mean, Randomness does happen.
Oh wait, no, that's the Packers who have swept the Lions. The Bears have not done so. They might split with the Lions. Okay, I need to pay attention to what I'm looking at. But
Oh, good.
it is still very possible for the Lions to not make the playoffs at all because they have the Rams, Steelers, Vikings, Bears. So one easy win in there. So it's really going to come down to the two games between the Packers and the Bears. For the rest of the season, like whoever wins those wins the division, and then the other one goes into the wild card probably.
Do we think this season does anything to Jordan Love and his esteem within the NFL? Because he's got a pretty stacked defense. His offenses on paper should be quite good, and they're not. They should have run away with this division, right? Like, they got Micah Parsons. They went all in for Micah Parsons. They have a pretty deep wide receiving room. Josh Jacobs has done a very good job this year, and yet they're only 8-3-1. He seems like the weak link, right?
I mean, they've only lost 3 games.
Yeah,
I tied one, but I feel like they should be a juggernaut, and they're not. They are merely a good team.
Yeah, I don't think I buy that argument. Well, I think they're a lot better than what their record indicates.
Okay. All right, I opened the question, and you're like, nah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing as well as is being asked of him. So I'd say he's okay. Jordan Love is an okay quarterback. That's probably an issue for the Packers because he's not bad enough to replace and not good enough to bring you any rings. Probably.
That's what I'm getting at, is that I think he might just be, I mean, not Kirk Cousins necessarily.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be insulting. Call him that.
I would say he's better than Kirk Cousins. I would put him in franchise worthy quarterback.
Yeah, he's a franchise quarterback, but he's not going to win rings.
Like Jared Goff. Is he Jared Goff?
That's also a bit insulting.
It is, isn't it?
I don't know, because Jared Goff gets a lot of crap, but he's consistent. Right? I put Jared Goff on the same par as Matthew Stafford.
Well, I mean,
oh man, I don't do that.
So did the Rams and the Lions a few years ago.
Yeah, Jared Goff is more consistent, where Matthew Stafford he has a higher floor, but he also has a higher ceiling but a lower floor.
I mean, Jared Goff, when he has the temerity of having to play in wind, he suddenly becomes awful.
Yeah.
Or significantly worse, and his team is as loaded on offense as I've ever seen. And he also, I feel, is the clear weak link of their offense.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. But we'll have to agree to disagree.
All right. Well, the Lions, they have a chance, I feel like. And then the Vikings, man, their quarterback situation is untenable.
JJ was... I think, can we say he's a bust? Is it soon enough to say that JJ was a bust?
I don't usually say that in someone's functional rookie season.
Functional rookie season is the problem.
Yeah. I feel like you can either be weird or you can be bad. You can't be both.
Well, yeah, you'll get killed in the media if you're both weird and bad.
I mean...
If you're weird and good, you can be treated like Russell Wilson, where some people are like, well, he might be weird, but you gotta give it to him. He knows how to play football.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jameis is weird and bad, and everyone loves him.
Yeah, but he doesn't start. He's on the bench.
Fair.
He's a weird little guy.
Here's the thing about Jameis, though, is when he's, good Jameis, he looks really good. I would take Jameis Winston over JJ McCarthy.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Just because, yeah. But
because JJ can't go more than 3 weeks without an injury,
and when he's playing, it's not good for you.
Because
you don't actually want that.
Because he's played a total of 4 or 5 starting games his entire career of the last 25 games of his career. He started 5 of them. That's what I mean when I say he's a bust, because you're getting nothing out of him. He's racking up injuries. He's he's not going to be here for long, just from the injuries, and you're getting nothing from it.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have to go back to the draft and find another guy if they're able to. Which, that's not a fun place to be.
I mean, in terms of the draft, they are currently sitting at 11th. You're not getting a quarter or elite quarterback there.
So then they have to tank another year, and then hopefully get a guy, or find another journeyman and actually pay him this time. Like, could Denny Dimes get the ball to Justin Jefferson as well as Sam Darnold?
Yeah, it's not a great time to be a Vikings fan, but to be fair, it almost never is.
Yeah, I mean, part of this is self-inflicted, right? You were mad at Sam Darnold because he kind of, shit the bed at the end of last year, but
he got to the playoffs.
He was also the reason why you were in that position. I mean, Sam Darnold, he's not a franchise quarterback, but he's a good bridge quarterback. They should have probably held on to him while they were still trying to figure out McCarthy.
Well, we'll discuss Sam Darnold when we get up to the NFC West. That's for sure. NFC South, we've got the Buccaneers, the Panthers, Buccaneers and Panthers at 7-5 and 7-6 respectively. The Falcons at 4-8, and the Saints at 2-10, and hopefully we won't have to discuss them. Who gets it between the Buccaneers and Panthers? Do either of these teams want to win?
They both want to win. They just don't know how to win. Let's look at their schedules. So the
Buccaneers have had. I mean, Mike Evans has been out for the year. Bucky Irving has been hurt for most of the season.
Yeah,
Panthers.
They're just now starting to get healthy, which is a good sign for them.
Yeah. Well, they won't have Mike Evans. He's out for the season.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like Bucky Irving's coming back.
Yeah,
Baker's been playing through injuries. I think he's starting to get better, heal more. So they are getting healthier. So they have the Saints, Falcons, Panthers twice, and Dolphins. I mean, they're going to get at least 4 more wins out of that. So
probably, unless the Panthers beat
them. Are they though? Are they?
We'll see. So the Panthers have the Saints, Bucks twice, and Seahawks. Oh, that's nasty. So I think they could finish 1 win ahead of the Panthers by the time it's all said and done. But it's gonna come down to who wins
head-to-head matchups.
Those head-to-head matchups, yeah. So it's actually exciting in the NFC South for once.
It's fun that the Panthers finally realized that Rico Dowdle was better than Chuba Hubbard. It took too long. And it's also fun that they figured out that they're allowed to throw the ball to Tetero McMillan in the end zone.
Yeah, that's
after most of the season.
That's usually a good thing to do.
You want to throw it to your first round wide receiver in a position to score. The Panthers, I didn't expect this glow up. Not that they're good. Like, their points, they are a negative 50 point differential and are above 500 somehow. But
yeah, I think, again, that comes down to luck because realistically, they should be a 4-win team.
Hey,
they should be.
They beat the Rams.
Yeah. So what? I mean, good football teams lose to bad ones. It happens. That was more about the Rams, shit in the bed than it was the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, this is got to be an interesting conclusion. The Falcons are cooked. Michael Penix is injured. So they have to play Kirk Cousins, which is not something anyone should be forced to do in 2025.
He just doesn't care anymore.
He was never good.
No.
So being older and more statuesque has not helped him. And the Saints are cooked. They've been cooked. They started the season cooked.
At least they're developing Shuck though, so they're getting something out of this year. They're not. Oh, I thought they were.
Shuck, I think he was one of those quarterbacks you take. You're rolling the dice, hoping you come up with a D20.
Rolling a natural 20, and then it turns out he's actually good.
Yeah, I don't see Tyler Shuck been long for the NFL. But, the Saints and their policy of, the salary cap doesn't matter, just keep, kicking the can down the road. I think they're paying for that.
So,
it took them a while, but it's finally happening.
So they're in the first. They're at the beginning of a very long rebuild.
Yes,
I would say they're more towards the front than the back.
Yeah, the beginning of a very long rebuild.
I think the question is Chris Olave still on this team by the time he has a team around him that is deserving of his wide receiver talents? And is his brain pudding before that happens?
Olave, I think the Saints are working on a deal for him. I don't think he's looking to leave.
I don't think so, but I just think he's had a number of concussions. His quarterbacks are all awful. They need to fix running back because Alvin Kamara is old. They're going to need to replace him. They need to shore up their defense. They need a second wide receiver because they traded Rashid Shaheed away.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't have a lot going on at most of the other positions. So I think by the time the Saints are a team that we're even talking about lucking into 7-6, like the Panthers, we're probably looking 2-3 years down the line, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now they're more whole than a boat.
Yeah, it's not great. The NFC West.
These sons of bitches.
These sons of bitches keep getting away with it. The Rams at 9-3, the Seahawks at 9-3, the 49ers at 9-4, and then the lowly Cardinals at 3-9. So balanced as all things should be, except for the Cardinals.
It's the same as last year, except they've had an easier schedule this year as a division. Why are these three teams always in parity?
I don't know. Balanced as all things should be.
I'm so mad. The Rams are going to win the division. They're the most complete team in football right now. The Seahawks and the Niners don't deserve to go to the wild card, but they might. Seahawks deserve to be in the wild card so that Sam Darnold can turn to a pumpkin again. Seahawks have the best wide receiver in the league, so yeah, put them into the playoffs. Other than that, I don't know, man.
And we finally have set Kyler Murray free, so he can just play Call of Duty now.
I thought it was Arc Raiders.
No. Wait, you said Kyler Murray, right?
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyler Murray is all Call of Duty.
Oh, okay. I thought he was playing Arc Raiders. Okay.
He's basic.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're going to see the Rams be the NFC Super Bowl contender. Like, if I look at them from like an EPA like total standpoint, both offense and defense, they're like maybe an order of magnitude above the next best team, which is the Colts and the Packers. They look that good to me on paper. Like, I know right now the record is, on parity with the Seahawks, but I think they're a noticeably better team than the Seahawks.
Yeah, they have fewer flaws than really any other team right now. And, I think whether or not they go to the Super Bowl is dependent on whether they have to go to Philadelphia or if the Eagles have to go to LA.
Let's see.
That's what's going to come down to.
Yeah, so right now they're the second seed, and San Francisco would be coming to LA. So Philadelphia is the third seed right now at 8-4. So Philadelphia
would have to go to LA if they played in the championship. Which,
right.
Again, they have to stay seated ahead of Philly so that when they play each other in the NFC Championship, they don't all get frostbite.
Am I a madman for thinking the Seahawks have a chance here to win this division?
Yeah, they have okay, so let's look at this. The Seahawks have the Falcons. I'm going to call them the Falcons. Colts, Rams, Panthers, Niners. Rams have the Cards.
Should be 3 wins.
Lions, Seahawks, Falcons, Cards. That should also be at least 3 wins.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down
to
the
49ers.
I think the 49ers are going to be kingmakers for the Seahawks or the Rams.
If the Seahawks are going to win the division, they have to beat LA week 16. You can't win the division and lose a game to them.
Yeah, and they've already lost to the Rams so far, so they need to.
But it was a close game.
It was
It
close.
was 21-19
As all
LA.
things should be. As all things.
Okay,
should
so
be.
the Seahawks are home.
Yeah,
the game.
Seahawks will be home. And the Seahawks are a good team. They're just, I don't think they're quite the powerhouse LA is right now.
Also, I can guarantee Sam Darnold will turn into a pumpkin in January.
Well, really, run us through your rationale on this.
That's what we did last year.
Oh, so sample size of 1.
Yes. As all things are in football.
Yeah, as football tends to be. Sample size of 1, and then after that, 1 game sample size, wild gesticulations, wild proclamations made after that.
Yeah.
This is now a hot take show.
And yeah, the 49ers, it sounds like none of us believe in them.
No.
Good.
They have CMC back, and he's doing CMC things. That's kind of it.
I mean, right now they're the 7th seed in the NFC, so they're not a bad team either. I think San Francisco is a better team than Chicago.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think all 3 of the NFC West top teams are better than Chicago. But the Packers might be as good as the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers. So are the Lions. I think the Bears are the most fraudulent, and I think the points for and points against kind of tell you that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was Juwan Jennings who got the cheap shot, and that's because he's been talking some wild shit across the line all year at the Niners. So just a fun fact there.
That is a fun fact. All right, that does it for our evaluation of these teams. The playoffs are going to be interesting. A lot of these will come down to the head-to-head matchups between divisional rivals, as the NFL wanted, with their changes to the scheduling a few years ago when they made the end of the season almost always rivalry games. How should we do fantasy talk or model talk first? Should I chastise you both for your fantasy teams or chastise you both for your models? Which one?
I guess we do fantasy talk first. Just rip that Band-Aid off.
Okay, let's do that. So remember everything I said about how you need to apologize to the New York Football Giants?
No.
Last time?
I do not recall.
Well, I take all of the things I said positively about the New York Football Giants, and I instead angle those at myself. Because at the beginning of the year, both of y'all were talking a lot of shit about fantasy football and how, it's so easy and Gino's no good at it. What happened? You were talking all that shit a minute ago. The current standings are Pete at 9-4 in first place, co-host of the main pod. Second place is it's me at 8-5.
Easy schedule.
Then after that, we've got Jason, who is a co-host of the Carrot of the Pods. And we have Tyler at 7-6. But somehow the third worst points for, he has overachieved his scoring significantly. Then Loam Life at 6-7. Then Doyle at 6-7. Then, dang, Adam down here with the worst points for in the entire league at 5-8. And then Braden at 4-9. So both of you are in the bottom 3 points scored. I am second highest points scored,
and yet
only to Pete by 7 points.
And yet, how many wins?
I have 8.
Is that? And
you're only 1 win better than me, Gino. You're only 1 win better.
Yeah, so
I've scored 240 more points than your team,
and yet only 1 win up.
So what?
And yet. So what we're saying is that when the playoffs come, Grav's fraudulent team will go in the wild card round.
Yes. His fraudulent team. I look forward to playing his fraudulent team. I really appreciated how through this season, I feel like Tyler's team is the most shiny object-oriented team. Like, he would just get dropped week to week. Just who had a good week last week, I want them on my team. And then just random guys get dropped. And it is great.
I mean, that's worked, apparently.
Has it?
It's been So context is important here. It's mainly been the running back position because the beginning of the season, the position group wasn't great. Once I picked up Scadaboo, it was looking better. And then once he went out for the season, I'm grasping at straws at that position. Plus, I have Justin Jefferson, but when you have JJ McCarthy throwing the ball, it just dragged down his position. Right now, my offense is Puka Nakua and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and hoping Baker Mayfield, gets back to being at least 20 points a week. So right now, I'm very much fighting to stay in the playoff picture, but I need a little bit of luck. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, my team having Lamar Jackson, who was hurt, and Brock Bowers, who was really hurt, but now they're both back, which has helped me. So yeah, but that's where we're at. Do you have anything to apologize for, Adam, at being the lowest overall score, even lower than Braden, the High Lord of Concussions?
I was going to say there's a lot of randomness in fantasy football, which makes it really hard. It's not like fantasy basketball, which is dead simple and easy. So I'm finding that I enjoy fantasy basketball a lot more than fantasy football, because that's just, you don't even have to worry about that. You shouldn't even bet money on that because it's so straightforward and simple. But yeah, there's a lot of randomness. It's hard to find good running backs, just in general, just in life. I'll say.
Well, let's look at my roster. Let's see who's on my roster. All these hard to find running backs. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs and Breece Hall and R.J. Harvey and Travion Henderson and Rico Dowdle and Travis Etienne and Amari and Hampton.
Oh, so that's where they all are.
They're all on my roster, it looks like.
Okay, so you hoarded all of them.
Yeah. And do you know how many of them I drafted?
I wasn't paying any attention to the draft, man.
I think I drafted 3 of them. I think I drafted Gibbs, Hall, and Henderson. I think I picked up every other one of them off waivers. Oh no, I drafted Hampton. So I think 4 of them. That's most. All I'm saying is, next year I think you can do better. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I can be better than this.
Fantasy football is a game of luck, like Mario Party, not a game of skill.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Adam, instead of just auto drafting, you came up with a crazy draft strategy that
was wrong and bad.
I was drafting the way that I would collect baseball cards. It's whatever's the shiniest, or whatever just appealed to me the most, not necessarily the numbers. It's kind of for vibes.
And in my defense, entirely auto drafted. I was up in Maine on vacation at the time.
That's very fair. Whereas Adam, just on purpose, picked in which round was it where it became absolutely bonkers? Well, Josh Allen, number 1 overall, was a bonkers move.
Hey,
I mean,
my quarterback's name out of your mouth.
That one paid off.
He's at least good. That's true.
I got several wins off of him.
You did, but let's see who. I'm looking at the wrong fantasy football league. I just want to see where you took the Green Bay defense, because I believe it was the second round.
There's no way to
do it. It was the second round. You took the Green Bay defense. Do you feel that this has benefited you?
I mean, Green Bay in general has not performed up to expectations, just in general. So no.
Would you take Terry McLaurin before Jackson Smith and Jigba again?
I mean, now that we know that JSN is the best receiver. Now that we know. No.
Now that there was no way to know before.
There's no way to know before. It was completely opaque. This is a random league. Anything can happen.
Okay, that's good to know. Would you have taken the Sam Laporta pick? There's so many picks to scrutinize, but I'm not gonna.
Sam Laporta was a top tight end before he was injured.
Gino Smith in this 8th round is buck wild.
I mean, that was just for the laughs.
I did it for the lulz.
Did it for the lulz.
All right. Well, how are your models doing? Are they doing better than your fantasy teams?
Well, first off, go fuck yourself.
Hey, I'm in the playoffs, buddy.
That's true. So Tyler, how is your model doing first?
So I just have the in-season model. So I really don't have anything to compare it to. Right now, the most fraudulent team is Chicago with 3+ wins over expected. I think that will regress during the season. I just don't see the Bears winning the NFC North or even being the number 1 overall seed. What's interesting are the other 2 teams that are overperforming. That's Denver, New England, Tampa Bay, and Carolina. I don't know if either one of those teams, if any of those 4 teams will come back down during the season. I mean, New England has a cupcake schedule. Denver, well, maybe Denver. I think Tampa Bay will be fine. Carolina might be fine. So, that's pretty much it for me, Gino.
Okay, Adam, how is your model doing?
Not that bad. It's so the hit to miss rate is a 124 to 70 in terms of predictions. So about 64% of the time it gets it right, which is actually more than I say the market, but it's like the common wisdom would dictate.
Unlike ESPN.
Yeah, unlike the ESPN pick'ems. So it's just like the common the common sense picks, let's say,
Yeah.
of the people. So it's actually about 3 hits up from that.
Well, that's good.
Which is pretty good. So it's better than the common knowledge, and that's entirely due to the injury adjustment I added for the season. That adjustment has me up 7 hits from what it would be without it. So it has helped a lot to keep the model in the top quintile in the pick'ems.
That's pretty good, honestly. Like, I think your injury adjustment has been the big game changer, right, from last year.
It has because +7, that's the difference between like a 60 and 64% hit rate, which
Nice.
Which is what puts it above the common knowledge.
Yeah. Adam, do you know where the model was at the same time last year?
It was bad last year.
It was. I mean, I think it finished like 66% because it went on a tear at the beginning of the season. Also, last season was way more predictable than this one in general. So, but I think it was below the top quintile by this point overall.
Yeah, once the injuries started piling up because you didn't have that injury adjustment, you just kept predicting teams that were good but hurt, beating other teams, and they just were not the same team anymore.
Yeah, and there are still teams that are making the model look dumb just because they aren't who everyone thought they were.
Who? Which teams?
So, I mean, the Falcons collapsed this year
Mm-hmm.
when it was expected. The Bills are behind a few games. They're supposed to the Chiefs. The Colts have made this look silly. The Bears and Broncos being frauds have made this look silly. The Texans collapse hasn't helped. The Jets have collapsed compared to expectation by a few games. So that's just the things where like teams come out of nowhere. When they come out of nowhere, they come out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like despite injury. So I might add another adjustment next year, maybe for like a winning streak. I'm still thinking about it.
We shall see.
So right now you're using what, like, as your baseline? ESPN, like, preseason
Power rankings, yes. Well, see, it's the power rankings and how those have performed against reality over the years. I think I have 8 years worth of data of how those power rankings have performed against reality. So it's like when the home team is let's see here, 8 ranks above when the away team is 8 ranks above the home team, the away team has a 56% chance of winning. Based off the last 8 years of data.
Yeah. I just had a great idea that I will talk to you offline, because I don't think we want this podcast to drag on any longer than it already is.
Sure.
But I have a great idea.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right. Well, I think that will do it for another amateur hour. Thank you, Adam.
No, thank you, I guess.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, Gino.
And thank you, dear listeners. Reminder, you can get in touch with the show, deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com is our email address, deeplistens.libsyn.com. We have our comment sections there, and deeplistenspodcast.bluesky.social. That is our social media account. Also support the show on patreon.com/deeplistens. Till next time, peace.
Peace.